Now we shall enter into a very important and the new topic for today, which is Namapadani or Subanta Parichayaha. Similar to Kriya Padani, let us now understand further about Namapadas and Subantas. Namapadam, again, Padam is nothing but Prakriti plus Pratyayaha. In that Namapadam, the Prakriti is called Pratipadikam. The Prakriti is called Pratipadikam in contrast to Dhatuhu for Kriyapadam. And the Pratyaya here are basically Supratyayas. There are totally 21 Supratyayas. We shall see quickly in the next slide. One example is Devena, similar to Ramena, etc. Deva is the Pratipadika, and then Supratyaya for this, the final form of the Supratyaya for this Tritiya Vibhakti will be Ina. So Devena it becomes. Similarly, another example, Sitasu. If you see, Sita is the Pratipadika, the Pratyaya, Supratyaya, the final form of the Supratyaya that is coming for Saptami Vibhakti will be Su. So when you combine this, it becomes Sitasu. That is the final word that we get. So there are Supratyayas, there are 21 Supratyayas, if you know, and it exists in all the three Vachanas, basically Ekavachanam, Dvivachanam, Bahuvachanam. So if we divide 21 by 3, we get 7. These 7 are called Vibhaktis. 21 Pratyayas divided into Ekavachanam, Dvivachanam, Bahuvachanam, then this becomes that there will be total of 7 classifications like that, or 7 groups if you want to see that way, and this is called as Vibhakti. So the 7 Vibhaktis are used to denote a certain meaning whenever that particular Vibhakti is used by any of the Shabda, any of the Pratipadika. So the Pratyayas are Su Aujas. These are the original Pratyayas. These will be transformed based on grammar rules, and then the final form, for example, for Rama, Su, it will become Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, and so on. So those are the final forms of the Pratyayas. This is, you don't have to remember this at this level, but this is just for your information that these are the 21 Supratyayas which are there. Auchas, Tabhyambhas, Nyebhyambhas, Nasibhyambhas, Nas Os Am, Ni Os Sup. These are the 21 Supratyayas which are there. For any Namapada, for any Pratipadika, these 21 Pratyayas will be added, and the Shabda Rupa forms, the table that we learn, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, will be generated. And that is what we are learning in every class, Shabda Rupani. This is also called Shabda Rupani. So what is this Sup? If you remember, similar to Ting, it is basically the starting letter of the Pratyayas, Su, and the ending letter of this set of 21 Pratyayas, which is P. This together is an abbreviation to denote all these 21 Pratyayas. What do these mean? If you see, one is a subject, that is, it is Ramaha Gacchati. If you say Rama is a subject in this sentence, the next Dvitiya Bhakti will refer to it, the object. So Rama reads a book. Book is an object. So that will be referred to in Dvitiya Bhakti. Instrumental case, that is the Tritiya Bhakti, it is used to denote any instrument for the action. Ramaha likhati. Ramaha lekhanya likhati. Rama writes using a pen, with the help of a pen. So that will be used in Tritiya Vibhakti. Chaturthi Vibhakti is for recipient. So Ramaha dadati. Ramaha brahmanaya dadati. Rama gives something to a brahmana, the recipient. Brahmana will be in Chaturthi Vibhakti. Brahmanaya. Panchami is used to show a separation between two objects. So you have a tree, vrikshaha asti, phalam asti, phalam patati, the fruit falls from where? From the tree. Vrikshat phalam patati. Vrikshat is in Panchami Vibhakti. Now Shashti Vibhakti is relation. So this is basically to say this belongs to this person. Or Dasharathasya putraha Ramaha, son of Dasharatha. So of, the relation is there. That is used to, Shashti Vibhakti is used to depict that. Dasharathasya. And Saptami Vibhakti, location. This is in general used for time or location. So Aham Bharate Bharate nivasami. I live in India. Bharate nivasami. Nivasami, live. Aham, so uttama purusha, nivasami. Aham nivasami. Aham Bharate nivasami. So that is the Saptami Vibhakti. In general, you can think that outside this Prathama, Dvitiya Vibhakti, the other Vibhaktis, you can also think it as prepositions in English, on top of, in, with, etc. Whatever we use in English with separate words, those are already embedded in the words that is in the final form of the Shabda Rupa. And hence, in Sanskritam, that is the beauty of Sanskritam, even if you change the order of the sentence, Gacchati Ramaha, Ramaha Gacchati, there is no difference. But in English, Rama goes Rama. If we change the order of the sentences, words, the sentence will not give the correct meaning. So that is the advantage of Sanskritam, because all this preposition or whatever other information that is needed is already embedded inside these words. So that is the importance of these vibhaktis. So with that, we will see quickly for the Rama Shabda how these meanings are actually being used, and we will be able to understand it in a much better fashion. So Prathama Vibhakti, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, one Rama, two Ramas, and many Ramas. So one Rama goes, like Ramaha Gacchati, Ramo Gacchataha, Ramaha Gachanti. Now you can correlate why I said for Prathama Purusha, any Shabda, Prathama Vibhakti we can make use of according to the number. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Gacchati, Gacchataha, Gachanti. Because this is the subject or the Karta, the person who is doing the action. Now, Sambodhana Prathama Vibhakti is nothing but addressing, vocative case. Hey Rama, to call someone or to address someone. Hey Rama, please protect me. Pahi Mam, etc. So, Hey Ramo, Hey Ramaha. The Dvitiya Bhakti is object 2. You can think, I give the book to Rama, for example, or Rama kills Ravana. The object of the Kriya, whatever is there, that will be Dvitiya Bhakti. Ramam, Ramo, Raman. Similarly, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyaha. For a Rama, for two Ramas, and for many Ramas. Ramat, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyaha. Ramasya, Ramayoho, Ramanam. Rame, Ramayoho, Rameshu. So, Rame, Rame Santi, Bahavo Gunaha. In Rama, there are many qualities. Rame, in Rama, Santi, there are, okay, qualities. Gunaha Santi. Rame Gunaha Santi. We will just take a simple sentence to understand how it is. So, in this way, the meaning of certain other peripheral words or auxiliary words, or basically any of the pronouns, sorry, not pronouns, prepositions, are already there in this vibhakti. These words, whichever are ending with sup pratyayas, are called subanta, subanta, similar to ting anta, subanta. Okay, these words are ending with sup pratyayas. That is what it denotes. And subantas are basically now you will be able to picture it well. Like the Shabda Rupani, what we have seen, are generated based on these 21 pratyayas, sup pratyayas, and each vibhakti is having a particular meaning to it, associated with it. And whenever we use this in sentences, we will be able to get the meaning out of it based on this. Okay. So one such example where all the vibhaktis of Rama Shabda is used is this shloka. Similar to our Prathama shloka, Guru Reva Gatihi. If you remember, I had told that in one of the previous class. So if you see, Ramaha Rajamanihi Sada Vijayate, Ramam Ramesham Bhaje, Ramena Bhihata Nishachara Chamuhu, Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Ramat Nastik Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmiham Rame Chittalayaha Sada Bhavatume Bho Rama Mamuddhara. So these are the vibhakti words that we have seen. Ramaha Rajamanihi, Ramaha Kaha, Ramaha Rajamanihi, Ramaha Kim Karoti, if you ask a question, Ramaha Sada Vijayate, he always wins, or let him be always victorious. Next, Ramam Bhaje, aham bhaje. If you remember here, bhaje is uttama purusha ekavachanam. Though there is no word aham, it is intended that aham is used here. Aham ramam bhaje. Now I can ask a question. Kidrisham ramam bhaje. What kind of Rama should I go to, or should I um, contemplate upon? Then it is Ramesham, Ramaya Isha. So it is basically Sita Pati. We can think in that way. Ramesham bhaje. Ramam Ramesham bhaje. Similarly, Ramena Abhihata Ishachara Chamuhu. So all the Rakshasa Kula was killed or destroyed by Rama. By Rama. So by, he was the instrument to kill all. So Ramena. Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. I bow to, or my salutations to that Rama. Ramaya. Raman Nasti Parayanam. There is no one beyond Rama. Ramat. No one other than Rama. Ramasya Dasosmyaham. I am the servant or slave of Rama. Okay, Dasa of Rama. Rame Chittalayaha Sada Bhavatu. Let my mind always be in Rama, contemplating upon Rama. Rame Bhavatu. Bho Rama, He Rama, Mam Uddhara. Please protect me. Uddhara, if you see, Bho Rama, you're referring to Rama as if he is standing in front of us. So we will have to use Madhyama Purusha. So Uddhara, Uddharati is the dhatu, Uddhara, similar to, but it is in a different lakara, but don't worry. So, but this is the Madhyama Purusha usage of Uddhara. So this way, I think now we are in a position where we have closely completed understanding about how these Kriyapadas are there, how these Namapadas are there, and how we can make use of this. Okay. So I will extend a bit in today's class because this one important concept which will summarize all our learning in today's class. So kindly bear with me for extending the class today. The learning aspect, not the Q&A. So if we ask the questions now, Vakyani rachayamaha cheta, saha kaha, saha ramaha, saha kim karoti, saha pathati. Whenever we want to know what that person is doing, etc., we can ask saha kim karoti. So saha pathati, saha likhati, saha kridati, etc. Then saha kim pathati. Now you are asking one more question. Saha kim pathati. Now this answer pustakam pathati is the object of this kriya. Saha pustakam pathati. Next you are adding more and more words to this sentence. Saha kada pathati. When will he read? Saha pratah kale pathati. He will read in the morning. Then saha kidrishaha ramaha. What kind of Rama is he? Saha chaturaha ramaha. He is a clever Rama. Now, this is the art of framing sentences, creating more and more sentences and being more creative. So, you know the basic words, you know the pronouns, you know the questioning words, you know the Namapadani, you know the Visheshanani. Now, we shall all stitch these together to form a big and a meaningful sentence. Now, if I use all these words that we have seen here in one sentence, if I want to make use of it, we can say, Saha Chaturaha Ramaha Pratah Kale Pustakam Pathati. And here we end. That means to say, from Saha Ramaha to Saha Chaturaha Ramaha Pratah Kale Pustakam Pathati, we have come to this level to frame the sentence. So that is the journey which we have done so far. And to dissect this and to understand this sentence first, how do we understand? Now we can start reading some of the words, some of the sentences in say any of the Sanskrit magazine or Sanskrit blog or any of the book per se. How do we understand the sentence? If we ask a question, first, this is the way, in the order in which we'll have to try to understand it. First, we'll have to identify the Kriya Padam. Pathati is the Kriya Padam. Okay, this is the Kriya Padam, the verb. Next, we'll see what is the direct connection of any of the word for this Pathati. That is the doer of the action or the Karta, the Namapadam, Ramaha Pathati. Kartrapadam, you can think it as Kartrapadam. I shall update it as well. Next, you can go to the next step. Identify what is he reading. Ramaha Pustakam Pathati. This becomes the Karma Pada. In general, any sentence you take, these three should be there or will be there. So, Karta, Karma and Kriya. Based on the kriya pada, a karma pada may exist or may not exist. That is a possibility that we shall understand further in the upcoming classes. Don't worry about it. Next, moving forward again, next it becomes, we add one more pronoun to it, the sarvanama, saha ramaha pustakam pathati. Understand it. Now you are able to get the meaning out of it. Next, you use an adjective to Rama. You say, saha chaturaha ramaha pustakam pathati. Now, you add one more information to this sentence by saying, at what time or when is he reading it? So, samaya vachaka, you're just saying that pratah kale pathati, he reads in the morning. Instead of samaya vachaka, we can also have a location. Saha shalayam pathati, he reads in the school. Shalayam pathati, the saptami. Now, if you see which vibhakti each word is and which vachana, I have used this notation as 1.1. For Namapada, it will be vibhakti and vachana. For kriya pada, it will be purusha and vachana. If you see, all are related words, and hence all of them are in ekavachanam only. Pathati, ramaha, saha, chaturaha, pustakam. Don't worry about this. So this saha, chaturaha, ramaha, pathati. All these are in ekavachanam. Next, saha, chaturaha, ramaha are all interrelated, and hence they are all in the same vibhakti of prathama vibhakti. Karma padam is denoted by dvitiya vibhakti, and hence it is dvitiya vibhakti. Pustakam, pustake, pustakani. Again in dvitiya vibhakti it is pustakam, pustake, pustakani. So the second dvitiya vibhakti pustakam is the word which is correct, present here. And pratah kale, the one which depicts about the time, at what time or in what location, will be in saptami vibhakti, and hence this here it is pratah kale will become saptami vibhakti. So try to get accustomed with this notation of 1.1 etc. so that it is easy for you to note which word is in which vibhakti and which vachana. That is very much required when we want to understand the meaning of any sentence. Hope this is clear so far whatever we have learned. I will wind up at this point, and whatever is remaining we shall take it up in the next class. So Kshamyata for going a bit over time for teaching itself. So now let me quickly check if there are any important questions in the Q&A chat box, and then let us see. Okay, so one point Harin Mehta is saying is pathasi pathataha in the Madhyama Purusha is not an order or request here. So that is correct. It's not an order or request. It is just a kriya. So you are reading, you both are reading, you all are reading is the correct way to use it. I agree to it. But you read is again here we are just trying to say using the word tvam is you, and read is the dhatu meaning, basically pathasi, and hence that was the sentence given. So similarly, I am reading, we both are reading, and we all are reading is also the same way. So this is not order because it is vartamana kala. Lat lakara is for the correct thing. Okay. Next one. So we'll see if there is anything else. Yeah. But in the meantime, I'll just lower everyone's hand. If you have any question, please raise the hand. I'll probably take one or two questions. And I also request the students to restrict your questions to say maximum 1 to 2 questions because there are many students who have questions, and if I spend more time with one student, it will be not fair on others for the other students. Okay. So okay, so next, if there is any other question here, I'm seeing. Okay, sure. So Ghanshyam Mahodaya. Next is Sanat.
Ram Ram Mahodaya.
Yes, Ram Ram Ram.
Sir, kindly explain the meaning of shlokas also, because some shloka I could understood, but some shlokas I could not understood.
Sure, no problem. We'll be learning the meanings of the shlokas soon, because today, if you see, we have completed this cycle of understanding or creating a big sentence and trying to understand the meaning of it. So in upcoming classes, you can definitely expect me to explain the meanings of the shlokas as well. So please wait for another 3 to 4 classes. I mean, by then we will start learning the meanings of the shlokas. Sure.
Okay, Dhanyawad.
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 Okay. Sanat? Okay. Simran, I think I unmuted both Sanat and Simran. So Sanat, you can go ahead.
Mahodaya,
Yeah.
I actually contacted Sura Saraswati Sabha for the textbook,
Right.
but they never responded.
Okay, I will request if it is related to not related to the class content, I request you to please take it offline with me. You can write an email. I will probably respond through that.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay, sir.
Mainly answer
Thank you, sir.
the class. Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Simran Bhagini,
Yes, namaste.
namaste.
Sir, I want to ask about that. I had this question previously also, Atmanepadi and Parasmepadi. You today actually introduced the concept.
Right.
That particular thing, is it just a theory or is it recorded in books? As you said, it is directed towards oneself, then it is Atmanepadi, directed towards other, the result, then it is
Right.
Parasmepadi. For example, Vandate and Namati, both
Right.
have the same meaning.
Right.
And how can a Vandan or a Namaskar be directed towards myself? It will be always towards others.
No, that is right. So as I said, there are two ways to look at it. One is based on the dhatu itself. It is classified as Parasmaipadi and Atmanepadi. There you don't have a choice, or there you cannot make this meaning of the action is benefiting the person, others, or himself. Okay. But whenever it is an Ubhayapadi dhatu, if it is a Ubhayapadi, that's a specific case. In such cases, we have the liberty to either use in Parasmaipadi or Atmanepadi. In such cases, if the result is directed to others, we use Parasmaipadi form like Pachati. And if the result is directed to ourselves or we are benefiting directly out of it, we use Atmanepadi. So to summarize, basically, based on how the dhatu is itself present, or based on a certain letters in the dhatu. Okay, so this is again a deeper topic, so I'll not go there. So based on the dhatus are classified as Parasmaipadi and Atmanepadi. This is theoretical. Now, when if it is a Ubhayapadi, in such cases we can make use of this logic of the fruit is benefiting others and fruit is benefiting the self.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Further on this, one
Yeah.
more question on the very same topic. You said fruit is if it is directed towards us, then we will use Atmanepadi, right? As you
Right.
said. So, example, if the chhatra is the example you use, the chhatra is cooking for himself, saha pachate, right?
Right, that is right.
Right. So, even if he's cooking for others and we use saha pachate, it is incorrect then. Is this the case?
That is true. I mean, that will not give the correct meaning. So if you use saha pachate, by default, if you know that pachati is basically pachdhatu is ubhayapadi, you are using atmanepadi, that means to say he cooks for himself is the intention of that sentence. So if you are wrongly using to say he cooks for everyone, then that doesn't actually make sense. So saha pachati would be the right way to use it in such case. That is right.
Okay, sir. I wouldn't take much of your time. I had other questions, but you requested that we should
Yeah.
ask only one. So I'll ask in the later classes.
Yes, you can ask, or you can also
Thank you.
write an email. Okay, so next, yeah, last question I'll ask. So Kshamyatam, I will probably pick a name whom I have not called so far. So Usha Anand seems to be a bit new name. So
No, Mahodaya, I'm attending all the classes,
Right.
but quietly. I just had a doubt, maybe little off the context we are in. When we
Okay.
say karoshi and
Right.
vadasi, madhyama
Right.
purusha ekavachanam,
Right.
परिवर्तनम् अस्ति करोषि इति शकारः वदसि इति सकारः नियमः अस्ति वा
Niyamah asti, avashyam asti. Similar to Rameshu, if you see Rameshu, if you see there is shakara. Sitasu, if you see there is sakara.
आमाम्
So there is basically a niyama basic here. So to know it, okay. So wherever there is rakara, okay, rakara, you can think that
या अकार आकार समये सु भवति
no, 1 second. I will tell it in probably I'll rephrase it in a different way. Okay, so in the Pullinga Shabdas, you get that shakara, basically Rameshu, etc. In Sri Shabdas, it will be su. That is with respect to the Namapada. But when we come to the Karoshi, here it is based on the dhatu. It is getting that shakara. For now, I think just note that. So maybe I will get to try to get more examples and then provide a better answer. In the sense, like what are the cases where you will be able to see that.
Okay. Dhanyavadaha, Mahoday.
Sure. Dhanyavadaha. Okay. So with that, I will end today's class. Kshamyatam for taking over time today. But I just wanted to complete this learning aspect correctly. So hence I took extra time. Dhanyavadaha. Namo namaha. We shall again meet on Friday. If you have any questions, please write to raghu.vyoma@gmail.com.